What's up, guys? So, looks like we're gonna be looking at this uh, question 6, a zigzag conversion on LeetCode. Looks like they give you a string. PayPal is hiring, and it's written in a zigzag pattern on a certain number of rows. It looks like that's also given parameter. Okay. So what the question asks for is for you to write this in kind of a zigzag formation. So it goes, looks like you go down, and then you go up, upright, down, upright, down, upright, until the string runs out, right? So this looks easy enough. So first thing that comes to mind is that because there is a certain number of rows, we'll need a data structure that kind of stores it row by row. And what comes to mind for me for this problem is Python lists. Okay, so what we can do is if you think of each row as a list, then we can store the string in a list of lists, right? So we're going to be looking at example 2 here. So there's 4 rows. So we're going to need n number of lists, right? And then n is going to be the same number as num rows up here. So after you create your lists, you're gonna need to store it in some kind of one variable, right? So you just store it in a list. So then you'd have a list of lists, and now you need to determine which letter should go in each list. So it looks like you need to determine if you're going down or up for the index of the list that you're adding to, right? So let's start over here. First you go P, and then because you're in the first row, you need to go down. So then you go down. So P A Y P. Okay, now you're at the very bottom, right? So you know that if you're at I guess num rows -1, then you're you need to go back up, right? So you just append um, in this order, going back up. And you can fill that out. So now you're at the first row. You're gonna need to go back down. So that's, you add an S there, you add an H, you add an I. So now you're at the bottom again. So then you're gonna need to go R, I, N, and then now you're at the top, so you need to go G, right? So now you have PIN, AL, SIG, YAHR, Okay, and then now after you have your lists of lists, you're gonna need to somehow make this back into a string. So you need to conglomerate them all somehow. In Python, you have this handy dandy what is this, quotation mark dot join function. This one basically takes in a list as in what is it? A list as the input, and it joins each character of the list um, by whatever you put, or by the string out in front, right? Like this is the delimiter, so it'll determine what goes between each index in the list, right? So for the first one, this will just go into PIN. This one will go into ALSIG, where these are strings over here. And then so now you're gonna have a list of strings, and then you're gonna need to do basically this one again to get it into this final output. So we can look at the code here. So first thing you do is you create your list of lists. So this one creates an empty list for each row, given the number of rows. You set your index, your counter, I guess, and then you need to set a boolean that determines if you go up or down when you're adding these characters to each list, right? So for each character in the string, then you're going to append it to the according list. If it's at the very bottom, then you cannot go down anymore, so I need to go back up. And if you're at the very top, then you need to go back down, right? So I equals I plus 1 if that's if cont, right? And that's cont is basically like if you want to continue going up or down, else I minus 1 is basically go back up. And then you need to account for edge cases. So if you just have one row, then your I equals 0 and you just add everything to this one list. And then you need to basically do what I said. You need to join every list together into a string, and then you need to join the final output into a single string, and then you can return that.